You are professor at the University of Cape Town, the Department of Music, and you are the head of the guitar department. And I knew that department existed already in 1958. So can you tell us a story of this department?
Well, I've been teaching at the college since 2005. So 7 years I've been there. As you said, there was guitar since 1958, and I think it was Elspeth Jack who was teaching at that time. And then there was a series of teachers. Uliano Marco was teaching there after her, and then he taught Nifa van der Scheef.
Uliano Marco, who is Italian. Yes.
He was Italian. And then he left to Italy. He left to go to Italy. I think it was in the 70s, late 70s. He went back to Italy. And then Nifa van der Scheef taught at the college as he was the previous head until 2004, just before I arrived.
Okay, so I must say just a moment that both Elspeth Jack and Nifa van der Scheef, the pronunciation in Afrikaans, I suppose. They were both in Italy in 1980 at the Kijan Academy for attending a master class of Oscar Ghiglia, and we met there. Right. So where did you started your guitar studies, musical studies, generally speaking?
Well, as you can hear, I'm English. I was born in England, so I started lessons there in England.
From Canterbury.
From Canterbury,
okay.
Kent, yeah.
So let's start your Canterbury tale about
my Canterbury tale, which was the guitarist's tale. And then we emigrated to Cape Town, South Africa, here in 1988. I was 10 years old.
And you had already studied the guitar in England?
I started lessons privately in England. Yeah. My father gave me my first guitar lessons. He played a bit of guitar, so he taught me a few chords, and he taught me. Then he started me on to private lessons, and I took my first couple of exams. Then we came to Cape Town, and I then had private lessons with the late Dietrich Wagner, who was the guitar teacher at Stellenbosch University. I had private lessons with Wagner. Yeah.
A very famous name.
The very famous name. And he taught me for 4 years, 3 or 4 years while I was here. And then we left to go back to England. We had property in the UK. My grandparents were sick, so we had to go back to England when I was 14. And then I finished school there. And in that time, I started lessons with Carlos Bornell, who was teaching at the Royal College of Music, which is where I wanted to go when I finished school. I wanted to study at the Royal College, where he was teaching.
Carlos Bornell.
So I finished school in England. Then I came back to Cape Town for my gap year. So I came back here just to sort of do some. I wanted to get my repertoire a bit bigger. I wanted to just work on various things. So I did that. And then I went to college in London, the Royal College of Music, in 1997. I started there, studying with Carlos. And I was with him then for the next 4 years. Where I
so you made your studies, most important studies in England.
In England,
but also in South Africa. So they were alternating.
Also, yeah. I mean, my degree, my bachelor, my BMAs, I did it in the UK.
In UK.
Before then, I was having lessons with, as I said, Dietrich.
So before in England. And so you told me also about your experience of teaching in Qatar, which is very, very peculiar. I mean, so I didn't know that there was classic guitar in Qatar.
No, I think I was the first one.
Ah, really? So, pioneer.
I was a pioneer, because what happened was that I just finished college in 2001, in July 2001. And I was thinking about what to do after I left college, whether to stay in England or to come back to Cape Town. But I wanted to travel a bit. I wasn't ready to settle anywhere just yet. And there was a notice on the notice board of college advertising this guitar teacher. They wanted this guitar teacher to come and teach in a school in Qatar. The school had been set up to teach music.
In Doha.
In Doha.
For 3 years, you told me.
The contract was for 2 years. The school was there for many years, 6 years I think, but I was just there on a 2-year contract.
Your
teach guitar. So I went over there.
So what did you bring as a matter of fact to teach in the University of Cape Town?
No, I came back from Qatar in 2003, back to Cape Town, and Nifa had he was just leaving the University of
Van Scheef.
He was leaving there, and they asked me to come and teach there, take over the guitar department.
Okay.
Which I did in 2005. And
it's already many years.
So 7 years. And it's a person I've enjoyed very much. I mean, I started there with 4 students. There are now 13 students, including 2 postgraduate students. and they come from all over the country to UCT. It's the biggest guitar department, I would say, in Africa. Certainly the leading one, and UCT is ranked, I think the last, the university rankings was 156, it's 156 out of all the top universities in the world. UCT is ranked 156, so it's the leading university in Africa, and we have the most thriving music, as you've seen, departments.
Yes, I was surprised already many years ago, 31 years ago, the importance of the guitar for Cape Towners. So
yeah,
I had something like 50 people in the master class, attending to the master class. So I was very, very surprised. So, and I see also that, I also noticed that you are very, very active, not only as a concertist, wherever, so I had the opportunity of listening to your wonderful concert in December, that I liked very, very much. And but I must say that you also have this activity as an editor, so you have your own CD label, which is called?
Stringwise.
Stringwise, and not white strings.
Not white strings. No, Stringwise. No, I set that up because I wanted to be in control of my activities, whether it's recording or playing, teaching, traveling, whatever. I like to organize my own things. I like to be in control. So I tried for a few years. I mean, before I set up the label, to get a record deal, with the major companies like EMI and Universal. I sent recordings I had over to Germany, to Universal, to Decca, and I had the replies saying, it's very nice, thank you very much, but we can't really do anything because you're not here in Europe. You need to be here touring, to be able to sell your CDs, which is fair enough. And I thought, well, I'll just do it on my own. I set up my own label, which is very easy to do. I just registered, the name, Stringwise Records, so it's all legal and it's all documents.
So you mean it's very easy to start an activity here in South Africa, so an editorial activity. It's not, you are not bound to a series of bureaucratical...
there's always bureaucracy, and there's always red tape. There's ways of dealing with it, and just, I find that the more you can do yourself, the easier things become. The less people you involve, the more control you have, the easier it becomes to actually deal with these various.
So it is a classical guitar label, or you also have other instruments in your published?
I started out just recording my own music because that's what I wanted to do, just record my own music.
Yes.
And then I became, because people saw I became quite successful. I recorded 5 CDs under my own, just on my own, and 2 of them have been nominated for South African Music Awards, which is quite, I think, prestigious. And then the university approached me last year to produce their centenary album under my label because we celebrated 100 years of the
100 years.
Yeah, the college was around for 100
of
years.
Music, the College of Music,
yeah.
100 years.
100 years old. It's 101 years old now. And so to celebrate, they wanted to produce an album which featuring their alumni and current teachers. It was a jazz CD. So it's all jazz music, but they asked me to produce it because of my success with producing. And so we did that, and then I've produced Jonathan Crossley CD, he teaches guitar at Wits University. We play together sometimes. I'm currently in the process of broadening the label's activities to include not just guitar music, but other types of music. But with the emphasis on local content. I'm about promoting local. South African musicians, because I think we have a lot to offer.
And you are also a good organizer of concerts. So in December I also had the opportunity to listen to this wonderful piano concert also, not only yours, so I was really surprised, a very good pianist.
Yes, Christopher Daigen.
Christopher Daigen.
Yes, a very good friend of mine, and also we do similar things. I mean, he's based in KwaZulu-Natal, up in Pietermaritzburg. And he organises concerts and he records and he plays with the orchestras, and we played together many times. So he's also he's a great entrepreneur and successful in organising concerts.
He too.
So we work all together. In fact, I'm going there this weekend to play concerts with him on the 14th. So there's a lot going on. We're very busy.
Very interesting.
It's good.
So another interesting thing that I noticed is the attention of the radio for guitar. So I was surprised because in Italy, we don't listen anymore so much guitar at the radio. Sometimes, but it is not as frequent as it is here. So, and very often I heard your label, your CD label, or yourself.
Yes, well, they play me. They do play because again they have to play a lot of local content, you know. So obviously they play me quite a lot. But also that there are only two main classical stations in this country: the Fine Music Radio here in Cape Town and Classic FM, which is in Johannesburg. And both are available online. You can listen to them streaming online. So you can hear it around the world.
I have heard the music from Italy too.
But there's a lot of, I would say, a lot of interest and support for local musicians here in this country, because people realize, you know, how hard it is, like anywhere in the world. Actually,
I mean, not only local musician for jazz or popular music, but also for classical guitars. That was I noticed. So, and you are so well connected with the mass media. I mean, so.
Yeah, I've had concerts and productions where I've worked where they have recorded. There's an Afrikaans television channel called CakeNet. It's available on DSTV. And they are very good in promoting classical music. On Sunday afternoons they have a whole afternoon program just of concerts. You know,
and you played also for
I have appeared on there. They have recorded several concerts which I've been involved with. So they're very active and they're also very supportive, and they give a lot of funding, you know, to the various arts festivals, and so they are
very well. So we take a bit of coffee now and then we continue. Okay, so you want to sip your coffee.
Thank you.
About your study, we were speaking about you studied with Carlos Bonell, and also here with Wagner, not the one, you're too young. But anyway, but you have made a great concert career too, so I know that you have played many times with orchestra, and nearly everything. What did you play with orchestra? So all the most important pieces for.
Well, most recently I played at the end of 2010 with my friend Jonathan Crossley, I mentioned earlier, who teaches at Wits. We did the double concerto, the Concerto Madrigal by Rodrigo in Johannesburg with the JPO, the Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra. Then I've played with every orchestra in this country. The Cape Town Orchestra, the Johannesburg, the KZNPO, which is the orchestra in Durban, and the Free State Symphony Orchestra. Played the Aranjuez, obviously. Everyone plays the Aranjuez, and the Villa-Lobos guitar concerto.
Also the Villa-Lobos concert, which is very interesting.
Which is very beautiful.
Yes, and less played than the Aranjuez, of course.
Yeah, rhythmically and harmonically, I think is very, very interesting. And the Giuliani is the second.
The second, so not the first one. Not everybody plays the first one. So
that's the thing. It's nice to play the second one.
So you are a star with orchestras. So you play with all. That's very interesting, man. Not yet Castelnuovo-Tedesco, so.
Not yet. But hopefully, you know, we were talking about playing the double concerto. So maybe one day we can do it here in Cape Town.
Yes. After the Sonatina canonica.
That was a nice warm up. I think it was a nice.
Yes, very interesting. So you have a big career also with orchestra, which is not very, very frequent, you know, because it's very difficult to organize a concerto, you know, with orchestra. So, but I see that this is another proof that there is a great interest also on guitar, not only on you.
No, you're right. It's true. It's very difficult because, as you know, I think it's the same everywhere. Orchestras are very reluctant to try a new, you know,
repertoire,
to try a new repertoire. They want guaranteed seats, you know, and performing the Aranjuez is guaranteed to sell out. You know, it's the same the world over. So.
The orange juice concert.
The orange juice. I mean, every instrument's got those concertos. But we're trying, you know, all the time to push for new, you know, repertoire. And so it would be very nice to perform Castelnuovo-Tedesco concerto, and also the Fantasia para un Canto Lombre. I haven't performed that yet here, but hopefully. One day.
The Concerto Madrigal is even more special.
It's very special. I think I'm not sure if it was a premiere here. I know Yepes, and I saw Yepes came here in the 70s. I think he played. I'm not sure if he performed it here, but he definitely played with the orchestras. And he definitely played the Aranjuez. And also Carlos Boyle came here many years ago and played that with the CPO, with the Cape Town Orchestra. But yeah, there is a lot of interest and support, as you said, for guitar, and people I think like the guitar.
And also, of course, if there is much attention about the guitar and orchestra, you must play a lot of concerts also all over as a soloist here.
I do. I play typically. I think last year I played about 60 concerts in this country.
60 in 1 year.
I think so. Or so everything's on my website. I have a concert diary there.
Okay.
But there's a lot of activity here in this country in terms of the local arts festivals, the Grahamstown, because that's the National Arts Festival in Grahamstown, and that happens June, July, this time of year. Well, in June, July every year. I perform there. That's the main one, like I said. There are also many others. A lot of Afrikaans ones in the Afrikaans-speaking areas. They get a lot of support, and they're very supportive, and they get a lot of funding for the arts. Then, as you know, I organise my own concerts, and when I found out you were coming out, I organised this concert for us and for you, and I thought it'd be nice to do that. And we have the master classes.
Yeah, I was surprised the hall was full.
It was full. Yeah, it was full.
Thank you very much, James.